What up, everybody? Welcome to Late Night Live number 150. We are celebrating 150 live streams tonight. Holy moly. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. How's it going, Ojaswinny? We are gonna get incense is burning. We'll get our spinning top a-spinning. Oh, it's got a crooked spin. Should straighten itself out, maybe. Hello, Skeet. What's going on? So we're gonna do something a little different today. I have to finish a pair of custom shoes for a friend of mine, and I'm running out of time, so I figured rather than finish the stream and then stay up super late and work on the shoes, I would just work on the shoes on stream, which, not gonna lie, it's very different than ornamental penmanship. I'm curious how the camera work goes, and I apologize in advance if my face gets in the way or something like that. But we are going to be writing some engrosser script-esque writing, or painting rather, painting some engrosser script-esque writing onto us. We have the shoes right here. We're gonna do a date on the inside. I have it penciled in, and then the name on the opposite side. I did the graphite transfer of the design earlier today so that I wouldn't have to do that and all this slow lining up and everything on stream. So I guess normally I warm up before I start writing, but I guess we'll just dive right in and start painting some shoes. For those of you who don't know, I used to have a custom shoe business. Painting full designs and patterns and whatnot on shoes was something that I did basically all the time. Lots and lots of customs. I don't really do custom shoes anymore, but when friends reach out to me and ask, or if somebody puts in a request that sounds really fun, I will do it. Specifically, this one is lettering, and it's for a friend of mine's wedding, so reason enough that I want to do it. Alright, I have printout of my design in front of me here. Let's see here, ta-da! Just the lettering expanded, so it's nice and big and I can see it. And now, what do you guys think? Should we do numbers first or name first? What are you guys feeling? Numbers or name? What do you think? I'll let you guys decide. Numbers or name? Some Nike Air Force Ones. Beautiful and clean. We're just going to be painting in black. Hello, Lene. Good evening to you as well. Ease in with the numbers. Alright, sounds good. Sounds good. That we can do. Alright, like I said, I'm going to try to get this. I want the camera to be zoomed in a lot, but there's a chance that my face might get in the way every once in a while. I'm also going to lower my chair a little bit, which is not what I would do for penmanship, but it makes it so I'm not going to be shrugging and having to hunch over a lot to get a little bit closer to the work surface. My weapon of choice. What's up, Eric? Eric in the house, Eric in the house. How you doing this evening? We are painting today. My weapon of choice, I have here a Raphael 8404, or I also have a Winsor Newton Series 7, I think 000. But interestingly, when I paint lots of designs, I do a lot of it with brush, but when I want my hairlines and whatnot to be this fine, my actual painting tool today, I'm not going to use it like we use nibs, but I'm actually going to paint with this is an Esterbrook, what is it, It's one of the tiniest ones, and I can't read the numbers on it because they're super dark. This is the... I always forget between the two. Oh, this is a 291. This is an Esserbrook 291. 291. I do not remember that being the number on this nib. No, this is not the Esserbrook. I thought this was an Esserbrook. What are they? 355s or 354s is what I thought it was, but it's actually, it's a Gillot 291. Whoops. They're both napping nibs, and they're essentially, the Esserbrooks are clones of the Gillot. But apparently I have the Gillot in here. This nib has been in here since the last time I painted a pair of shoes, because that's when I used this holder and this nib. Hilarious. Whoopsies. Hello, Lori. Working on some early designs for another engrossing piece. Ooh, are we allowed, do we get to know, or are we allowed to know the, sort of the theme? So today, because I know somebody's gonna ask, so I'll just answer it right now. I am using, and this is what I always use for shoes, it is Angelus black leather paint. It is my favorite. It is self-leveling and dries with a little bit of rubberiness, so it works good for leather, bonds to the leather really well. The shoes have also been prepped prior to putting the design on earlier with acetone and whatnot to get them prepped and ready. So I will paint them, and then I will seal just this panel, the whole panel, so the design will stay forever. Ah, that's sweet, Eric. Well, don't worry if you can't explain it. That's all right. I look forward to seeing it. And then the version of the Angelus that I'm using today, this right here, is actually watered down Angelus. If I was using a brush, I wouldn't water it down too much, maybe a little bit. But because I'm using the nib, I need it to be just a little bit thinner. Still much, much, much thicker than ink, but just a little bit thinner. All right. I guess there's no more talking to do. Let's dive in. Cool thing about leather, unlike a lot of paper when we're doing calligraphy projects, is if I mess up, I can just wipe this whole thing clear with acetone again and start over. Ideally, I don't mess up. That would be perfect. I don't want to mess up, but sometimes it happens. Give my paint a stir real quick. It might still be a little too thick, but we'll wait and find out later. I actually need a piece of paper. Okay. That will be off to the side. Oh, is my nib not gonna let me write? Come on. Alright. And then here we go. Is maybe a little too thick. I might have to thin it up in a little bit. You will notice that the way I'm doing this is extremely different than penmanship. It's just using the nib essentially like I would draw. this is how I paint with brushes too. I do a lot of outlining. And when I use a nib, I feel like it, or when I use a nib and do it this way, it can feel very similar to like using a really, really fine marker, sort of. I'm gonna thin down this paint just a wee bit more. It's working all right, but I want it to be a little bit, just a little flowier. I won't be doing any pressure for thick strokes and things like that. Some water in there. I will be just drawing or outlining the strokes and then filling them in. Or rather, outlining the shades. There we go. I have no idea, Ojaswini. It's just what I was asked to paint. My nib is not working. And I don't know why. Yeah, I would assume there's a valid reason for the format choice. Tonight we have to paint, each shoe has the date once and the name once. So we'll be painting these numbers a number of times tonight. Is that better? What's going on? Very different than I would be writing it. I was writing on paper. You'll also notice my grip is not a penmanship grip at all. Well, hello, Walker. How's it going? Yeah, Walker, it's a commission for a wedding that's actually happening next weekend. They are bride and grooms. Is it zoomed in enough that you guys can see detail? Wonder if I... Oh, hey, Mom, Ed, how's it going? Long time no see. No, because if it was a straight holder, if you imagine a straight holder, I mean, it wouldn't be uncomfortable, but let's do a demonstration here. If I was using... This has a broad nib in it, but it'll still work the same. So if I was using a straight holder, then my nib is fully, or the way I would want to hold my thing here to go here, so I can rest the side of my hand on the shoe. My nib would be coming straight from the side, and that's just because I'm using a nib. It gives me a little bit of danger zone, whereas the oblique cuts that angle a little bit, not entirely. I'm wondering if I can lock the focus on the shoe. If I move the shoe, we'll lose focus, but that might be better. If I lock the focus there, and then it won't go on my knuckles. Yeah, he's a dancer. The groom is a dancer. Dope guy. Sneakers are a huge part of a dancer's life. Nice to see you, Mohammed. I was chatting with a friend of mine today. I'm wondering if I don't really paint shoes a whole lot anymore. But I'm wondering if I would be interested or would have fun doing more lettering shoe projects. So I used to do lettering on shoes, but not a ton. It was mostly patterns in whole big cartoons and cel shaded designs and stuff like that. But I wonder if I don't have a desire to do that anymore, but maybe lettering could be fun. The hairlines on this first pass are gonna be probably thinner than I want them to be in the end, but I'd rather them be thinner and make them thicker than the opposite. So we'll err on the side of super thin. Hello, Sarah. Good evening to you. Or good day. I can't remember what time zone you're in. video with the guy who used old silk ties to decorate shoes. I've never seen this video before. If I were gonna dive fully into the world of shoe customizing these days, I'm pretty sure I would go the way of recon, where you take a shoe and you basically either destroy it or you replace panels with different materials. But that would require all the investment in the tools and machines and whatnot. Low and steady. Not like writing. Definitely not like ornamental penmanship. Yeah, deconstruction. So you'd buy a shoe, you'd take it apart, and then you would cut your own leather or whatever material you want to use for it, and you basically rebuild the shoe with your own materials. But then you'd still be on, like in this case, a Nike sole and whatnot. Old kimonos would be cool. It definitely, shoe customizing is taken on a whole new world since I used to do it. The industry has grown quite a lot, which is pretty cool. Does anybody here know or study the Sanborn Map Company's work? I discovered a wicked resource earlier today. I'm a huge Sanborn fan, and I have quite a large folder of samples of their old fire insurance county maps, because they were dope. They were so gorgeous. Like the de facto section lining, they were the best at it. And I have quite a few of their map covers and whatnot on my computer. But earlier today, I realized that the Library of Congress has a ton of their old scanned things. And there are so many covers that I've never seen before. So today I had to go through thousands of maps, and not all of them have covers or have the designs. So you go through all of them one at a time just to check, and then I would download the first page with the cover art of any of the ones that had covers. And so far, I've only downloaded the ones from the year 1900, 1900. Only the ones from that year, and it ended up being, I think, I want to say 210 Sanborn designs that I have never seen before. Oh, excuse me, hiccups, which is incredible. So my plan is very similar to the business educator and everything I did in the penmanship world. I went into MrMGWard archive mode, and I was getting them all, and then I will rename the files, crop the actual design itself so we don't need the county calendar, and then I'll put an archive together alphabetically of all the A words, B words, so on and so forth for study. And then when I do that, I will reach out to the Library of Congress and see if they're okay if I put it on my website, if it's just for educational purposes. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Their designs are incredible. Yeah, Sanborn, Sanborn, Sanborn Map Company. Their stuff is so dope. But I spent a good while earlier today doing that on the computer, and it reminded me of downloading the Western Penman pages one at a time and doing my mad archiving back then. It also reminded me that I'm not done my IAMPITH archiving, so I gotta dive back into and speed up the IAMPITH scrapbook archive process. So I'll be doing that very soon, getting back on that train. My apologies for the delays. Yeah, should be cool. Like I said, just the year 1900, over 200 new maps, and the Library of Congress lets you download them in TIFF format. So each one is like 140, 150 megs. So it's gonna take up a lot of space, but it'll be worth it. I think the best designs were from, I mean, they span from the late 1800s to the, honestly, mid 1900s, the good ones. But I feel like I'm anticipating when I get into like close to 1920, I think the designs are going to start to stick out quite a bit. I just decided to start with 1900. Hello, Olivia. Oh, I'm talking too much. Paint is drying on the tip of my nib. It is a wedding date. Might have to further thin this paint down. It's not wanting to flow all that good. I don't need as much flow as like ink, where I need to do shades all in one stroke and everything, but it feels like it's drying on the end of my nib a little bit. Yeah, not my wedding. Not for me. Not to say that I wouldn't paint my own shoes for my wedding. Potentially, I could do that. If and when that day comes. Hello, Kiara. How are you doing this evening? Whoops. Sorry. I can't complain. Having a good night, a good Tuesday. This song has a sound in the background that every once in a while sounds like a fish jumped out of a pond or something. It's interesting. There we go. Now, this won't be done. We'll need to do at least another coat on there after we erase the pencil, but I'm going to let that chill for a bit. Unlike calligraphy ink, that is, it doesn't have to sit for super, super long before I erase, but better safe than sorry. I'll let it dry for at least a little bit. Have a good one, Mohammed. Nice to see you. I've never seen kimono shoes. I've seen kimono pen wraps. There's a fountain pen company, or a company that makes fountain pen or kimono inspired fountain pen wraps, and they're gorgeous. I'm gonna move this. Makes more sense if this is over here. This one feels like it's not as good of an angle for the camera. It's one of my biggest concerns for this stream is I'm not sure what... Well, camera angles are interesting. Then also, I don't know if this is exciting or fun. Whoops. Go. What's everybody working on this evening? Out of curiosity. Or today? Ooh, what's on the menu for breakfast? Making soap. Nice, Sarah. Do you make soap quite often? don't have enough vial. That's a lot of tests by the sound of it. Oh, that's a good project. For the holiday time. Cold process soap. I've never made soap before. Anything I learned about that process, I learned from watching Fight Club. That's good, Sarah. Glad to hear it. I wondered. I feel like I don't have a very good viewing angle with these last couple of numbers. As they're trailing off the bottom of the shoe, I might have to paint these ones upside down. Maybe. They're always good. You wouldn't want unthorough. This song's got a little more pizzazz than normal. What's going on here? I don't mind it, but what is it? Oh yeah, same playlist. Interesting. Don't think I recognize this one. Hobbies are good, Sarah. Keeps you out of trouble. What are some more of your hobbies, out of curiosity? My hobby is collecting. And my favorite collection is hobbies. There we go. Second group of numbers, first coat done. Now, maybe we erase the first and check out if we want to do some refining. I might hold some of the refining tail off camera, maybe? We'll try it, and then if it's weird, I'll do it off camera. Eraser. Wonderful. Where did that smudge come from? Have a good night, Eric. Thanks for hanging out. Sing in a separate professional choir. That's impressive. Attire coordinator. On board of the Calligraphy Guild. Nice. Workshop coordinator. And you make soap, obviously. Awesome. Hobbies are great. Hobbies are the best. There we go. Getting a little... It's like there's a smudge inside the O, but I don't know if that's... There we go. That eraser didn't want to do a good job. There we go. Some of these times I'm gonna end up going off screen, and I apologize, just to get really quick corners and whatnot. I'll try to do as little of this type of work on stream as possible. I'll save those for after stream. Yeah, this is the first shoe after erasing. Definitely making my lettering a little finer than the than on the original example, which you can see my personal preference for how I like my letters to look coming into play. But that does mean I will likely have to thicken up the letters later. How's it going, Jose? Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Crazy how long it takes to do letters this way for me versus when you're just writing and it takes 2 seconds to just add some weight and pull a stroke. How's it going, Rose? Nice to see you. Oh, hey, Peter, you're here too. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I have to do these shoes for a wedding. So my original thought was to stay. I would have to stay up late after the stream if we did an ornamental penmanship stream again, and then do these. And I just figured, why not do these on stream and see how it works? Maybe people would enjoy to see the world of shoe painting with an oblique holder and nib. Oh, what was your ad for today? Thank you very much, Lene. Thank you, Mountain Mist. Do you like being called Mountain Mist, or do you have a name that you'd prefer to be called? Nice. Never done a marriage certificate before. That'd be fun. Oh, hey, Brian. Cat adoption. That's a fun certificate. Not quite as serious as marriage, but pretty fun. For the IAMPETH certificate program, I believe in the Illumination Certificate of Excellence, you had to create a version of, I believe it's a marriage certificate, if memory serves. And I definitely was planning out, I didn't end up doing my certificate, but I was planning out wording to be like a weird marriage, not like a marriage, but like a marriage in silliness between like a traffic cone and something else. I can't remember what the other thing was. A bowler hat? Something. It was like a marriage of silly things, but written out very like old school certificate language, formal. But I never ended up doing it because I didn't have time. So maybe next year. Still in his power, vested in me. Yep. I am technically an ordained minister. I guess it's still... I could say that, I suppose. That's good. I pronounce you Cap and Cone. There we go. I'll let that sit. That looks good. Nice and fine. Now this is the one, when I work on this one, it feels like it's so far away, so I have to do this one upside down. Do the erasing first. I guess technically in my home, if the bowler hats were married to anything, it would be the world globes. Because it's the globes that hold the bowler hats at, well, yeah, like that one. I don't know if that's still on screen. The bowler hat sits on the world. Oh no! Farewell, little tool that was on the side of my desk. You will be forgotten forever under my desk. Alright, let's erase. I'm gonna use straight to this one this time, because I think that other one left a smudge that I didn't think. I get my desk. It'll be... Oh, maybe if I do that, then I can be a little closer. Oh, yay, and not be out of frame. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Erase, erase, erase. It's true, Lene. It's very true. Smidge more water to this ink. I love a good eraser. Quality erasing is very important. I can't just not erase, because when there's pencil lines there, no matter how light or dark they are, there's always, when you paint, the design looks like smudgy. So I sort of intentionally, anytime I'm like inking or painting in anything that's penciled, I will intentionally not go to the edge. I will let it be a little smudgy, and then I erase the edge, the smudgy edge from the pencil, and then I can paint and refine that edge. And these ones, off camera, I might dive in and make the lines a little bit thicker and a little bit more quote-unquote refined, just because, like, for example, when I do, anytime I do a line, I'll draw this. And this is why, another reason why I'm using the nib today instead of a brush. If, like, say we had to do a line, like this, and it was filled in. I feel like the average, or let me focus on that. The average really good artist would take their brush and do this outline, maybe the top, the bottom, then this outline as well. There's something in my brain that won't let me do that. I have to do this line, and then I have to turn my page around and then do this line. So I'm always painting to the outside. And even with, like, if I were to do back in the day when I would do shoes that had essentially hairline strokes, like a tiny little line, I would still paint both sides from like this side to paint over here, and then I would turn the paper and paint then this line from this side. I would always do outline each one, even if there was no space in the middle. It was just sort of refining the edge, but always to the outside. And that's just how now I did that for so many years that it just feels like feels sacrilegious to paint both lines from one side, unless I'm using something more stiff and what feels a little more controllable to me, like a nib, where I can more so just make little short, quick little strokes and get that shape. Okay, let's stir. Where did my toothpick go? There you are. No, I don't have any acrylic pens. I have acrylic paint. But I've never used acrylic pens or anything for leather, because the leather, I only use one kind of leather or acrylic paint for leather, and it's paint that's specifically formulated to bond with leather as it cures, so it can be a more factory finished piece. There are a lot of people who will just take a shoe and paint it, and it will last for a while. And if they're lucky, it might last sometimes a little bit longer than a while, but it's not going to be like a factory last forever result. I don't think. So I do all of the prepping and everything so that my shoes will ideally last forever. Unless you do damage to, if you were going to scuff the leather, then obviously you will scuff the paint. If the leather's scraped hard enough to damage the leather, you will damage the paint. But all right, let's get focus right there. That's where we want it. What do you think? Do you guys want to be closer? Oh no, we're all the way zoomed in. Never mind. Closer's not an option. Hey Kathy and accidentally Steve, how's it going? So there's 6. Unfortunately, it gets a little heavier on the end. So when I'm all finished, I'll have to go in with either some acetone or something and thin that a little bit on the very end. Or thicken the rest, but I don't think I want to thicken the rest. Cobalt blue crepe blouse. Lovely. Oops. That's one other thing I really like about when I'm painting shoes. If I make a mistake, if the paint is still dry, I can use my fingernail and just kind of push, and it can fix minor issues quite wonderfully, which is very handy. These two gotta happen upside down, because they're disappearing behind the shoe. Right on. I think that'll do. Get our both dates in the... Nope, not without zooming out. Alright, we'll leave that there. Then we're gonna do some letters. After I sip some tea, we'll do names. I once did, the last time I did a pair of shoes for a wedding, it was a long, long time ago, but the numbers were in Roman numerals on the back. They were in black, but the entire back of, it was a high top Nike Dunk, if memory serves, and the entire back panel was all a pattern of gray, small gray Roman capitals. Well, that took a lot of time. It was a very time-consuming process, that one. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. We'll dive back in. Sorry about that. Okay, let's do some words now. Potentially a little bit faster. I brush a ton of stuff as well, but when I want a lot of like really fine, like especially when I get into the lowercase letters on the names, I really want the shades aren't super big. So but I want a good definition between the hairline and the shade. So I want my hairlines to be really, really fine. And just with the brush it takes that extra little bit of control and whatnot. Whereas with the nib, I find, because I'm not just pulling a straight line, I can like use it like I would use a marker or something like that. I don't use a nib because it's a nib and because I'm a calligrapher. I use a nib just because it's a good way to deliver the paint in a marker-like type of feeling, sort of, or type of control. All right, let's do words. They're smudgy. A little casual engrosser script, but very casual. Okay. And I definitely don't do the strokes like I would if I was writing. Like this stroke, for example, I'm going to use, that's going to be an upstroke instead of a downstroke like it would be if I was writing it. Sweet dreams, Lori. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon. Yep, they're for a wedding next Saturday. Or I guess this Saturday. It's a good night for projects. Of course. What am I saying? Every night is a good night for projects. Oh, there's a hair. There's a hair on my nib. There's a hair. That would have made a mess. I also think painting shoes doesn't have to be this time consuming. I think I am just exceptionally slow when it comes to things that I want to be really, really precise. I take a lot of time. Oh, is my head getting in the way of the camera? Sorry, I did move my desk closer, so that makes sense. If I get too comfortable, I'll end up being like this. Sorry, I will try to not let that happen. Jose, yep, Angelus is my go-to leather acrylic. True. No, the name should be right. The client signed off on the mock-ups and everything, so should be good. Fingers crossed. No. The last name is definitely right. He's been a friend of mine for many, many years. Name is correct. If it isn't, then I got bigger issues that I gotta deal with. like, yeah, the difference, like even this little hairline in the middle there, I want it where it's gonna have a ever so slight accent shade, this little one. But I'm not gonna add that accent until I have the fuzzy pencil erased away. So I can see exactly what I'm up to. Then hey, that would be scary. It would be bad for me. I would be in a lot of trouble. Just in case anybody's watching this that is an engrosser script writer, we are not, it's not traditional by the book engrosser script today. Tiny little painted letters. Don't make mistakes. Now this E, you can see the pencil is just fully smudged. So being a penman comes in handy, because my pencil work, or my pencil transfer is all kinds of messed up. I do want to get a little, use an Altoids tin, put that on a tin. That's what I'm gonna do. There we go. I think you're probably best to spend more attention to the caustic chemicals than us, Sarah. Ooh, what scent is it? I'll refine that accent shade after I erase. There's a lot of smudgy pencil in this area. Hello, Lindy. Thanks for hanging out. Have a wonderful evening. Cross the T and we're good to go for pass number 1. Oh, I can name some favorite scents. Sorry, I'm gonna put the shoe down in a sec here and look at the scents you guys are talking about. Here we go, pass 1. You can't really see the painting too much because of how smudgy the pencil is, but it's there. Now I'm gonna clean my nib real quick. We'll do the same on this next shoe. And then we'll clean our nib. Sandalwood is nice. I actually was smelling sandalwood incense the other day when I got the incense that I'm burning tonight. But the sticks smell a little, I don't know if perfumey is the right word for sandalwood. But I need to try some, because in the store, like when I smell the incense sticks, they smell a little perfumey to me. My absolute favorite scent in the entire world, and they're sounds good, Peter, have a good night. My favorite smell in the whole world is campfire. Hello, Annie. Campfire smell is my all-time favorite. Will, I'm pretty sure, always be my all-time favorite smell. Unfortunately, I mean, there are a ton of companies and brands that make campfire candles, but I will say I've tried a ton of them, and none of them actually smell like campfire. They smell like fake campfire. I do have incense sticks made by a company called Incense de California? Something like that? Incensio de California? Can't remember. But that's the brand, however you say it, off my memory. And they're essentially like compressed wood. So they are incense, but they're actual real wood. So they smell like campfire a bit. But they can be overpowering just in that for a while my house smelled like it was just a campfire in here all the time, to the point where my landlord came to the door once and asked if I was burning or if there was a fire. Because it smelled like campfire in here. So I gotta be careful how much I burn it, but it smells really, really yummy. And then what else? Growing up, I really, really, really liked vanilla. Was my favorite candle smell as a child. I don't believe I've ever smelt it, Lene. I will say, I don't think I've ever really liked pretty much any artificial campfire smell. And that's not to say that there's not ones out there that I wouldn't like. I've just never found one that I like. No, Callie. Sorry, Annie. I'm painting with leather acrylic paint, acrylic paint specifically for leather. And I would brush it, or I could brush it, but I started painting shoes with a nib years ago. So I don't really there's no actual like writing techniques or anything when I'm using the nib. It's just an applicator that makes the acrylic paint feel a little bit more like writing with a marker or something like that. Like in a perfect world, I could put the acrylic paint in like a technical pen, like a isograph or a Rotring repeatograph, but it's too thick, so I have to do it this way. Or this is the best way that I found to do it. But definitely not ink. My mom hates my cologne, but I really like it. I wear, what's it called? Maison Sainte Marie, something like that, is the brand. And then the scent is number 4 or number 5, Bois du Balancourt is the scent that I wear most of the time. A good friend of mine was wearing it once, and I asked him what it was, and then asked him if it would be weird if I wore it, and we smelled the same. But it's just such an amazing smell. And then currently my house smells like frankincense, which I've been burning for the past week, a little more than a week, I guess, that I'm quite a fan of. I've never smelled, or I don't know the smell of myrrh. Salty Mariner. chat is a lot harder to keep up with when I'm painting shoes than when I'm doing ornamental penmanship. Salty Mariner. That just reminds me of... Well, salty just reminds me of salted caramel. Specifically recently because I got salted... I've been in a salted caramel chocolate milk phase at home. It's been my evening beverage to sip on. And it's yummy. I don't know what inspired me to get hot chocolate last time I got groceries, but there you go. Yeah. Sunscreen? I don't imagine the algorithm knows what to make of people who watch penmanship streams. We're probably a mystery a little bit. Oh, Milwaukee, like tools. Interesting. I have a neighbor who must work from Milwaukee. They have a Milwaukee truck. It's always parked in the alley. I don't have any Milwaukee tools. I don't think. There we go. Pass one. Done for both of the names. Alright, now, I have to make a quick trip to the restroom. I will return momentarily. Please just wait a couple seconds, and I will be right back. Have returned. Okay, let's erase. Shall we? Where'd my eraser go? There you go. Focus. There we go. All right, now we'll clean it up and thicken our shades a little bit. To head out. Where are you heading out to? The club? Little accent shade in here. Just slight. Hello, timeless swirls. Good morning to you. Most people wouldn't. I think it's unusual to use a nib on shoes. I just personally like the control of this just really fine little metal nib, a little pointed nib. So I use it for acrylic paint. But I don't think it's common for people to use a nib for painting. I think I have more control with a brush, but I also think I make more mistakes with a brush. Because of how much pressure can affect the hairline. So I do this. Lavina. Right on. Oh, clump. Paint clump. Oh, good. And there's pass number 2. Not too shabby. On shoe number 1. Now we go to shoe number 2. I am very quiet. Shoes make me focus. Sorry. I guess normally on stream I'm not doing things for other people. I'm doing my own play and practice. This is an actual for a friend slash client slash customer, so I have to do a really good job. No messing around. Alright, let's do some erasing. Thank you very much, Sarah. They're coming out nice. I think my hairlines and shades are still a little too thin. I'm laying it cautious, but I'd rather that and thicken them up with a third pass than go too thick right off the bat. Oh, apparently with my hairline I forgot to shade that second downstroke of the M entirely. Whoops. Okay. That's good. I appreciate that. Company's always wonderful. And it's great when you guys keep each other company too. When I'm too quiet. Well, you know me, I'm a very shy and quiet individual. Indeed. Yeah, I will apply. Here, I'll show you the top coat I'll use. I'll probably do a third black coat off stream though. And then for the top coat, I'll show you what I use for a top coat. Ugh. This is my personal top coat of choice when working on Nikes and whatnot. I use just Liquitex acrylic medium with a matte varnish. Simple, easy peasy. It doesn't dry cracky. And a few coats of this, it's always cool. Like when I used to paint shoes a ton, I would do a shoe and the design looked cool. And then when I put this on, it just made the shoe just look like it came that way out of the factory. Sort of. Or more so anyways. So that's what I use. I used to use once upon a time. I actually used from a spray can. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it was like a matte varnish from a spray can. But I stopped doing that a number of years ago. What materials can I apply it to? Pretty much anything to my knowledge. I'm not sure. It's not designed for leather like the paint is. Oh, I didn't see you say goodbye, Kathy. Thanks for hanging out. It was a pleasure seeing you. And we'll see you next time. If you're still here. Oops, autofocus. Sorry. Good eye. There we go. Kung Fu Panda music. I mean, that works. Uh-oh. Lurking mode. That is acceptable. Definitely Skeet. Yep, I could foil. Foiling would be, well, insanely faster. The fine details probably wouldn't be as clean and precise, just because it's hard to get really fine details in foil. But yep, actually when I thought of, like, recently, a conversation just actually before the stream, I've been debating getting back into doing just like lettering and whatnot on shoes. Not a whole, I don't want to fully get back into the custom shoe world, doing all sorts of custom designs and stuff. But doing just lettering or calligraphy type designs on shoes would be quite fun. Since I already have the supplies and whatnot. But not sure if it's actually going to happen again. But if I started doing that, then I would add foiling to it as well. And custom foil shoes. I don't think I've ever foiled shoes. I must have foiled one of my own pairs of sneakers once as just an experiment. But I've never foiled shoes as like a commission or anything. I've foiled a lot of weird things, but never shoes. Not yet, anyways. Working on shoes was how I got started in foiling in the first place. Because I used to burn leather. I used to burn patterns into the leather and then paint over top. And then I wanted to do, like, essentially gilding, but I knew nothing about gilding at the time. So I would experiment. That's how I figured out foiling on leather. At that time, it wasn't on shoes specifically, but I used to burn leather before I ever foiled it. Funny how things evolve. There we go. There's shoe number 2. I would assume you can gild on leather. You can gild on book covers, so I assume you could gild on leather. I don't know how. I think the big difference, like with leather, like foiling, like what I do for blotters, is somewhat, it's not stretchy, but if the material moves around and stretches and you can roll it up, it's not super fragile. Whereas I think, depending on the kind of gilding, depending on what kind of a size you use to attach or to stick the gold leaf to the leather, you might not be as durable. But I guess on a part of the shoe like this, I mean, it's not gonna bend a whole lot or anything anyways. It's not gonna take that kind of damage. So I want to say, yeah, guaranteed you could gild it. I don't know exactly how you would. And because of durability, I personally think I would opt for foiling versus gilding, I think. Alright, so there is pair of shoes number 1. Ta-da! Ugh. Now we gotta do it even smaller. Not a lot smaller, but a little smaller. On the bride's shoes. chipping away. Try to do these ones a little faster. No, just the bride and groom. Painting doesn't even have like ASMR or anything. It's so quiet when I'm not chatting like when we do ornamental penmanship. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, Sarah. I should think of some topics to talk about while I'm working. Since I can tend to ramble about things, I could ramble while painting, I suppose. But I don't know what to ramble about. If you've never heard of the song Ramblin' Man from the band Lemon Jelly, or the group Lemon Jelly, I recommend checking it out. It's a fun tune. I was never like a full-blown sneakerhead, but I was a sneakerhead once upon a time. I do have a closet full of Air Jordans and Nike Dunks and whatnot. I don't really wear any of them anymore. I pretty much just wear Converse Chuck Taylors these days. But I used to be much more of a sneakerhead. It was kind of being a customizer that got me into being a sneakerhead, I think. I can remember going to... It was like a Japanese store that had all the like monies and dunnies and like the vinyl toys and whatnot. And a buddy of mine, or we picked up this magazine. There was Sneaker Freaker magazine was on the shelf, and I'd never heard of it before. But my friend was telling me about this whole hidden community. Not really hidden, but there was all forums and whatnot that back then. It wasn't nearly as popular as today. But communities of shoe customizers who used to paint shoes and custom design them. Freaking your sneakers. Sneaker Freaker magazine. So then I went online. After that, like I got home, went on the internet and did a ton of research. Or just trying to find the communities and the people who do sneaker customizing and what tools they use, what techniques they use, things like that. And I did a lot of research for probably a long time before I ever actually painted a shoe. I joined the community and read a lot of old posts. I believe if my memory is correct, back then, the customizer community was strongest, that I know of anyways, on a sneaker forum called Soul Collector, I think, and there was a customizing forum that we would all post and chat in. And then after a while, there was a Facebook group once Facebook was a thing. It was fun. For a long time, people wouldn't believe that I hand painted shoes. They thought I used stencils and whatnot. I didn't do a lot of stuff specifically like this, but just the designs that I did, and my lines were really clean. But they didn't think I freehanded them. They thought I cheated, which there's nothing wrong with taping a design and using a stencil. I just never liked using them, so I didn't. So that's when I started then recording myself painting shoes so people could see the process of me doing it by hand. because they, I don't, this isn't an actual answer, I don't think. But I would say because they got sneakers on the mind. And they know a lot about sneakers. So their head is full of sneakers. Maybe. My sneaker website no longer exists. But if you want to see some of my old sneakers, you can go to customswaves.com. SWAVES. Not customswaves.com, sorry, that website doesn't exist. But on Instagram, I'm pretty sure the Custom Swaves Instagram account still exists. If you want to see an example of some of the shoes that are up there, I did a pair of Pumas for Rihanna once that Puma asked me to do for her. There's a pair of high tops we did for Nick Young from the LA Lakers. And just a bunch of cool designs. There's a pink pair that is little twin stars. And the neat part about that pair is that's the first time I ever painted a shoe with a nib. Because I needed a lot of really exact, really perfectly width lines. And it was going to take so long with a brush. So I thinned down my paint and was able to essentially write the shoes with leather paint. And now I have a closet of shoes that I have to get rid of, because half the ones I used to keep like samples for if I did art shows or things like that. So I have all my sample shoes that are bigger than my own size, chilling in my closet. I gotta do a purge of my old shoe inventory. I used to also keep inventory of like plain white Nike Dunks, plain white Nike Air Force Ones like these and whatnot, just to have. Or if somebody contacted me for a shoe, I could already have the base. My shoe size is epically small. I wear... What do I wear? It's, I think a women's 7 or 7.5. I think in men's, I'm like a 5.5 or a 6, I believe. Obviously, depending on the brand, but yeah, pretty tiny. Kids' shoes, basically. And my samples are mostly like a men's 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there. 8 and 9 is the standard, I think, sample size. It's very tiny. I have very, very small feet. To the point where when I go swimming, if I don't use my arms, like if I just use a flutterboard or something, and I just have my arms out in front of me, and I kick my legs as hard as I can, I will not go anywhere at all. Which is terrible, because a lot of your propulsion comes from your legs. But no matter how much I kick, I don't go anywhere. I assume it's because my feet are tiny. It might not be the actual reason. But the fact that my feet are small is what I use as my excuse for that. Because they're small and they don't have a lot of range of motion, so they don't make very good flippers. How tall am I? I am 5'7.5". The half is very important. Yeah, it's super. If I'm auditioning, like when I'm auditioning as a dancer a lot back in the day, if I'm auditioning, then I'm 5'8". It's my desk. I'm making the camera shake. That's no good. My desk is too close, or my two desks are touching. Oh well. It's alright. Whoa! Well then. Oh, I just realized. Last time we did the Blacklight Live, I wasn't very smooth with the transition either, and I guess I'm not very smooth with the transition right now. My second monitor was having trouble with its USB power supply, so I was testing it, and it was using the Blacklight's power supply. So in the dark, I'm gonna go around to the back of my desk and see if I can't turn that on, or swap those cables around. Hopefully I don't die. Don't step on anything in the dark. Please stand by. Alright, where does this cable go? Following cables behind my desk. Unplugging monitors. What's going on here? Where does this go? Where are you? Plug in? I can't find it in the dark. I should turn lights on, but now I've committed to doing it this way. Ah, there it is. Aha! I did it! Whoa, the shoes look cool! Look how cool the shoes look under black light! How dope is that? Okay, well, I obviously can't paint shoes anymore. Also, this music is completely inappropriate. Pause. Play. Here we go. Yeah, these look cool in the black light. What do they look like if I turn on, if I do our filter jams? We'll do there. And we'll do a little of this. Whoa. Cool. Sorry, I'm distracted. Alright, Sarah. Thanks for hanging out. Sweet dreams to you. 2 a.m. Holy schmoly. There we go. Okay. Let's put lids on these spillable things. It's been a while since I've totally forgot about midnight. Raise the chair back up. Oh. Yeah, shoes are safe. Get some paper. And some ink. Now, what do we write in the black light? We don't have a writing theme today. All right, here we go. There we go. What do I feel like? I don't know. I've just been zeroed into a shoe for the past few hours. It's very similar to an F we did last week. Oh, what was that B that I liked last week? How did that one go? I meant to record that in slow motion, and then I forgot and got busy. No, that's not it. That wasn't it. How did it go? Is it close by? Oh, here it is. All right. Okay. Oh, spinning top. Still going strong. I need the spinning top to be blacklight effective. Reactive. That's an ugly execution, but that's that B. Let me back this up just a little bit. Oh, camera, focus, and lock. I guess I'll have to finish the shoes tomorrow. Or later tonight. We will see. How is it midnight already? That happened really fast today. Haha, I was indeed. This is true. It's like earlier today. I'm not gonna lie, when I was downloading all those maps, from the, library... What? Yeah, from that library earlier. Lost my train of thought. When I was downloading all those maps from the Library of Congress, there was a part of me that got sort of into it and time disappeared a little bit, and I kind of thought, oh, I'm just gonna do this all night. We're not gonna do a stream. But I decided to veto that thought. Time travel genre. You like it as in TV shows and movies and whatnot? Mess that up a little bit. What's your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite, what's your favorite content in the time travel realm? I'm trying to think of mine. What are time? I'm blanking on time travel media now. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Ooh, yeah, Back to the Future's gotta be. I mean, that's a staple in the time travel realm. True. I think it was during the COVID lockdown. I definitely joined the people who were doing all the TV marathons and whatnot, and I definitely watched all of the Back to the Futures again. It's a funky song. I don't remember there being such a funk jam in this playlist. That might be one of the best of this second stroke. I'm really happy with that top. With the top one, I don't often hit the shape of that one quite that nice. Back to the Future. Doctor Who. I have never watched Doctor Who. I got told just the other day, I was at a coffee shop, and somebody told me, people told me I look like a wizard and that I could be Doctor Who, which was the best compliment I could ever get. It wasn't that I looked like Doctor Who. They said I looked like somebody who could be Doctor Who, which is fun. I had an umbrella and a long raincoat and a bowler hat, and I was wearing my glasses that day. And yeah, I apparently looked like a wizard. Oh, Avengers? I like how Avengers explained time travel. That was fun. They didn't use conventional time travel sort of rules or guidelines, which I like. Whoa, ugly stem. Whoops. Oh well. Sorry, Doctor Who. Can I make that look less messed up? Sure. We're on our own baseline, but that's okay. Doctor Who. Time at the Top by MrMGWard. I have no idea I've never heard of that before, nor have I heard of MrMGWard. Is that a book? I'm guessing that's a book. When you said quantum jumping, I thought of Quantum Leap before I read Skeet's Quantum Leap. I feel like I was too young for Quantum Leap when it was on TV. But I remember liking it the few times that I watched it. Avengers. Did I watch Timeless? I don't remember. Timeless. It sounds like I watched it, but I have no memory of what it is, so maybe I didn't. I kind of like the idea that there are infinite timelines. So time isn't fragile, but time can just infinitely create other timelines when, depending on what you do. I like that thought. I think. Is that the one with the pill? No, yeah. Oh, just Winnie, I'm not gonna lie. When I first read Timeless, I also thought about Limitless. Me and my friend were talking about Limitless just the other day. And yeah, there's no time travel in Limitless. Timeless. I do not know time. I'm gonna Google it because I'm curious now. A spherical ship that looks like a diving bell? What? Timeless. Timeless. Drama series. Sci-fi. Oh, yeah, definitely did. I've never watched this. But I think I should. I will add it to my list. I would love limitless bills. Timeless. Did you watch the TV show of Limitless as well? Because there was the movie, and then they did the TV series, which ended up getting canceled, I believe. Even though I really liked it. I thought they were doing a good job, personally. What else has time travel? Oh, there's, it's not really time travel, but Interstellar has a little bit of time, not really travel, but time travel for some of them, I guess. I'm assuming the TV series didn't work just because it was probably too expensive and too difficult to have Bradley Cooper be in it. Because he wasn't originally, and then they fully brought sort of the movie stuff into the TV show. The Arrival. That's the one with the big black egg, right? And the new alien language. Is that one? The Arrival. Oh, I just thought of one and it left my head again. Oh, of course. What about, like, To the Extreme? Or are there supposed to be two N's in that? Tenant. That one was intense. Very time travel-y. I liked the puzzle of that movie was. I had a lot of fun. I like movies that I knew it was like quote unquote hard to follow for a lot of people. So I went into it with my brain super clicked on, and I really enjoyed it. What else? Time travel, time travel, time travel, time travel. I can't think of any more. There's a ton more. Twilight Zone. Benjamin Button popped in my head, but that's not really time travel. That's just he goes backwards. Time travel stuff, especially like the heavy stuff, you really gotta pay attention. That's unfortunate. Twilight Zone. Well, TV series that uses a lot of time travel. Oh, advertisement. The Flash. There's so many more. My brain is drawing a blank. Oh. I definitely didn't even finish my tea today. So many hours we've been here and I didn't finish my tea. Well, there we go. Hot tub time machine. It's right in the name. Do 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 do. There's one that keeps like flicking in and flicking out of my brain and I can't remember it. There's a show called The Time Machine? I don't know a show called The Time Machine. Oh, Wheel of Time. Does that have time travel in it? Maybe not. That might just be about... Does Wheel of Time have time travel? Oh, Outlander also. Outlander has time travel. Someplace in time. Ah. Whoops, sorry, that was out of frame. Someplace in time. Oh. At some point from when the black light started and ended, we lost our spinning top. I'm not sure when. I did not hear it today. I would guess around the 12:30 mark, so probably not that long ago. Deja Vu. I don't know that one. How can we forget Dark? I don't know Dark either. What is Dark? Inception doesn't have time travel. That doesn't count. Dark. How do you spell deja vu? I don't even know. Ah. Oof. Not a very good D on that one. Deja vu. "2006, Deja Vu." I don't know this movie. Weird. Maybe I do. There's some screenshots look familiar. Maybe I do know it. Been a while. Yeah. Accents. I feel like I watched something recently that was about time travel, and I can't think of what it was. Oh, there was a movie where a group of kids, this was probably like 80s, early 90s movie, where a group of kids took an old broken down amusement park ride. It was one of the seats from the Tilt-A-Whirl and turned that into a time machine. I think. Was it a time machine or just a spaceship? No, I'm pretty sure it was a time machine. What was that movie called? There's not really time travel in Stranger Things, is there? It's more so dimensional travel. Oh, there's also a movie that Aubrey Plaza was in, where she saw an ad on like Craigslist for a guy that was building a time machine and needed an assistant. It was before she did Parks and Rec, but I have no idea the name of it. I can remember these movies, I just can't remember the names of them. It's the first time I've ever seen her in a role. It was interesting. A long time ago. Did I watch Legion? No. Wait, I don't think so. I do not believe so. Why can't I think of another time travel movie or TV show? There are so many. Apparently, I've convinced myself there are so many, and I can't think of the ones that keep running through my brain. Oh, Superman does. It's not about time travel, but Superman flies and changes the rotation of the Earth. That's time travel, technically. Superman! What else we got? This one is... yeah. It's a fun flourish. You really have to make sure you have ink and then commit. You just gotta give her. It is very zippy. Thinking, not allowing myself to Google, because that's cheating. I gotta be able to think of at least two more. Visual, probably, I think. Is the book The Time Traveler's Wife actually about time travel? I've never read it. Oh, wait. Looper. That's time travel, right? Looper. Is there any time travel in The Fifth Element? No. Space travel. We are indeed still here. We're trying to think of TV shows and movies that had to do with time travel. And I can't think of anymore. I'm tapped out. And I want to think of like 2 more. And then I'll probably call it a night. So far I've got probably 1.5 pages of time travel things, and I can't think of any more. Time travel, time travel, time travel. Oh, Click with Adam Sandler. Oddly emotional movie, actually. Click. Yeah, the TV remote one. It's very emotional. You don't realize it, and then it hits you out of nowhere. It's a good movie. Oh, a classic. Light. Of. The. Light of the. I wouldn't be surprised if most people haven't seen this one. Flight of the Navigator. Classic. Voyages. Ooh, I don't know that one. Yeah, Flight of the Navigator is, I think that was 80s? Classic movie from my youth. Voyages. Voyagers. Why, it's too late now. Are you Googling them? No. No, you're not. You typed it in. Got you. Autocorrect changed it. Time bandits. I don't know time bandits. The bee turned out very nice. Cheers. Tron, I guess. Is Tron time travel? Not really, I suppose. He just lives in a video game. Kate and Leopold. I have not seen Kate and Leopold. I think the time travel ones leave your head because they're time traveling. Oh, there's Tommy Tricker and the Stamp Travelers, but that's traveling on a stamp, not traveling through time. That doesn't count. Time travel. Ooh, good one. Bed knobs and broomsticks. Bed knobs. I think this is gonna be my last one. I'm out of paper. We're gonna call it a night. Bed knobs and broomsticks. I do not know of Kate and Leopold. I'm gonna have to check it out. Parapalace, a Turkish series. Well, I think I can like picture the poster from Kate and Leopold, but I cannot remember the show. I've never seen it, so but I feel like I can remember the imagery. Well, there we go. We're gonna call that a night. We did a fair bit of shoe painting today, and then we got a good just shy of an hour of some blacklight writing. It's a long stream, but it didn't feel that long. Very time traveling. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with me this week. We're gonna call it a night. I hope that you had a wonderful time. Make sure that you are falling in love with the process, and don't forget that life should be just a bit of silliness, really. Bye bye, everyone. And stream. Bye.